Okay, so welcome everyone. Namaste. Okay. Very beautiful presence tonight. Very beautiful group. And today we have a special event. It is a Satsang meeting, which is a meeting in truth, a meeting in full consciousness. It is a meeting beyond your mind. It is a meeting in your true self. So it is a meeting beyond the personality. So everything that we had in our ordinary life, any things that we were carrying during the day, it is good to leave outside the door. Like you take off your shoes. So when you come to a satsang, you take off your mind. And then we can meet in full consciousness with your true self. For the full consciousness meeting, it is good to be completely open, without any conclusion, without any understanding, to be completely open. We could say vessel for your light, for your consciousness to flow. It is not important to understand everything that I say. It is more important to feel, because feeling is much deeper than understanding. Understanding is just interpretation, a logical interpretation of reality, which cannot be truly logically explained or understood with the rational mind. So this is why in meditation we always go behind our mind in order to reconnect with our true self. In meditation we step into our inner peace. We find a way to let go of the thinking or talking voice in our head. So in meditation we can truly start reconnecting with ourselves. In satsang, it is also an inquiry of who you truly are. There is a very famous question, who am I? And this question arose in the deepest meditation. This question comes from Ramana Maharishi from India, and it is a very direct path of self-inquiry into who you truly are, and also to understand of who you are not. So that is called disidentification. To disidentify from who you are not, or we can say from the false identity, or from the identity which is derived from the mind, and upon a deeper introspection that we can clearly see that it's not true, that it has no true foundation. So our identity is simply a contraction of energy, of the mind's energy. It is a contracted belief system which is very limited, which is very enclosed and very dense. Thus, full consciousness is complete freedom. It's complete freedom from the mind. It is complete freedom from suffering, from pain. It is complete freedom from all the diseases of the mind. In order to understand what is full consciousness, we can begin to understand what the full consciousness is not. So the full consciousness, in the full consciousness, there is, in the full consciousness, there is no fear, because the fear is a quality of the mind. In the full consciousness, there is no confusion, because that is a quality of the mind. When the mind does not understand something, it gets confused. In the full consciousness, there is no worry, because that is another aspect of fear. There is no even struggle, because that is also a quality of the mind. So the mind has a lot of limitations, a lot of diseases, which are the root cause of suffering. So as we know, there are three root causes of suffering, which is attachment, desire, and ignorance. These are the three core qualities of the wheel of karma, or of the wheel of disharmony. In full consciousness, we go directly to the center of the wheel. We go directly at the core, and we try to truly understand what it is. We try to truly feel what it is. And in the full consciousness transmission, we try to truly receive the energetic attunement to the full consciousness energy. And to be more precise, full consciousness is not even an energy. It is not even a frequency. It is not even a space. Because consciousness is the source. It is the source beyond energy, beyond frequency, beyond vibrations, from which the universe was born. It is, although it seems very, very huge and very, very vast, which it truly is, however, it feels completely natural. It feels completely like that is the true you. So it is your full consciousness that you truly need to understand. There is a story of a long time ago when students asked Buddha, Master, what did you gain from meditation? And his reply was that he lost the fear, he lost the doubt, he lost confusion, he lost the worry, he lost all the diseases of the mind. And by losing all these contracted limitations and diseases, he gained He gained all the virtues. He gained peace, he gained freedom, he gained love, all the qualities, the natural positive qualities arose. Many times also people ask me, like, Mindo, how do you see the mind? And for even more importantly, the root of the mind or the I thought. When I look at the person, I have ability to see the person's energy field, the simple things of aura and chakras, kundalini energy, electromagnetic field, but also have the ability to see person's density of the mind. So every person is literally carrying on top of their shoulders like a big bubble of the dense energy. And this is where all these contracted beliefs are. This is where all these contracted thoughts, limitations, and very dense energies are. So when we work with a full consciousness, when we raise the levels of consciousness, that density which every person carries is being cleared, is being purified, it's being released, is being disidentified, and thus there comes more and more lightness, there comes more and more freedom. So when you lose all the heaviness, you are completely free. The body is still here. The body does not disappear, it is still here, but the body is very light and easy. You don't feel so much density, so much heaviness, contraction. The diseases and pain arises of the energetic disbalances. So in the full consciousness, all the heaviness, all contractions, limitations are surrendered. They are transmuted and they're dissolved. It is also called transcendence. What I really want to point out is that full consciousness is completely natural. In reality, people became so accustomed to the lower feelings of anger or sadness or anxiety or confusion. People became so accustomed to the unnatural feelings. And in reality, what is truly natural is the full consciousness. So when I would look upon the humanity, I would see a very diseased civilization, a very confused civilization. I can see so many problems that arose out of the mind. And this is where all the suffering, the wars, disharmonies, the poverty, they're all the qualities of the distortions of the mind. So if we want to achieve peace, if we want to achieve the true harmony of the unity consciousness, of the oneness, we have to step within and to clear inside, to clear all these contractions, diseases inside, so that we can then manifest all the beauty outside in the external environment. This is the law of energy that as above, so below. So as within, so without. At first, if you want to make any change, any true change in your life, at first you have to make the change inside you. If you want to have abundance, at first you have to realize abundance within you. And then in your life you will manifest it. As above, so below. One more aspect that it is important to be mentioned today is the rational mind. The rational mind. What does that mean? The rational and linear mind is a linear way of thinking. And rational means logical way of thinking. Reality does not function like that. Reality functions as a wholeness and completeness. The rational and linear thinking, which is if we do A, then B is gonna happen, then C is gonna happen. From the distance A, we arrive to the distance B, and we always think in the linear streams of thoughts. This is, you may say, how the mind is designed, but that is not true, because the mind is perfect when the rational voice is silenced. So when the rational voice is silenced, then the holistic way of seeing arises. I can give you an example that imagine you have a ball in front of you, and with a rational mind, you would only be able to perceive the ball as a one dot, as another dot, as a third dot, only in the linear dots. In the rational mind, you can see only the very limited amount of the reality. If the ball is a reality which has infinite amount of dots, then the linear mind can see only a tiny fractions of the reality. So when people reach the higher 400s on the map of spirituality, 500s, they truly start to step beyond the rational linear way of thinking and of seeing the reality. And of course, as a person deepens into presence, consciousness expands, and then the holistic or wholeness way of seeing of the reality becomes possible. For those who are more technologically minded, you may imagine that the rational mind is as a very old single processor unit. It can only process a very single amount of linear processes. And now in the modern computers, on your phone you have like 4 processors or 8 processors. These are the parallel streams, how the information is processed. At the same time, many parallel streams. Usually women are better at multitasking and parallel thinking, but because they're less rational. But anyhow, it doesn't matter of the female or male gender, because in meditation, we truly start to transcend a very linear, rational way of thinking and seeing the world. So in the full consciousness, we see the fullness. We see the totality. We see the complete picture. So this is why full consciousness is so powerful. because there is a clear, complete seeing. There are no more lefts and rights and ups and downs and places to be lost or confused. You know, you have a clear map, a clear vision that you can see everything like an eagle from above. You can already see all the little pathways on the ground. You can see every little corner, every danger on the path. You know, for the eagle, it's so easy to pass the mountains. So an example would be that with the rational linear mind, we pass the mountains on a we get the shoes on and we do the hiking and trekking. And without a map, by the way, you know, with the linear mind, there's even no map. So there's obviously, you know, very little chance that you will cross the mountain or spend decades of wandering around the mountains. An eagle simply sees the whole picture and flies directly through it. So that is how the full consciousness is able to perceive the reality. Everything becomes clear, easy, and light. Any questions so far? Okay, you can also ask a bit later. So for tonight's full consciousness transmission, we need to set the intention and we need to prepare our inner selves. So for the full consciousness transmission, the intention, the right intention, is to be completely open to simply feel, to simply receive, to simply be completely open as a child without any particular thoughts, without any particular understandings, without any particular fears. Many times people imagine things and that can become an obstacle as well. So being completely open is the first and most important step. In this complete openness, you return home. You return to your real, truest, warmest, most loving, most peaceful self. So it is completely natural. It is so natural that you will realize that the heaviness or fear or any contraction is not natural. So in the full consciousness, there is complete openness, easiness. It is also important that you simply receive. There's nothing in particular to imagine or to visualize. It is not a journey, a vision journey, a vision quest. So if you start seeing some visions, it's okay. For those who are more advanced in meditation, if you start seeing some visions, that's fine. But I also want you to understand that full consciousness is not a vision, is not a dimension. is not a place. So then just remind yourself to come back to your breath and to simply continue receiving the energy which will be flowing here, to keep complete openness and complete receptivity. During the meditation and transmission, if you have any thoughts, it's okay. Different things. So it is normal, but it is not natural. However, it is fine. We don't fight with our thoughts. In the meditation, if you have thoughts, it's fine, it's okay. Simply remind yourself to come back to your breath and to continue to receive the energy in this space, the energy in this room, and to simply be open. If if any if any thoughts come, simply to remind yourself to come back to your breath. If if you have a vision, it is also fine, it's natural, it happens, but again, simply to remind yourself to come back. Is it somebody's music? Somebody's. And just before we start, let's hit the quiet. Also, please check your mobile phones that they're on silent. Switch before we start. For those who are new, who came a bit late, pass around the instance as well. It's always very good before meditation to have some incense and to go around your body. It helps to purify, to clear your energy field. Not only that, with the incense, it also helps to disconnect any energies which are not yours. So during the day, when you drive in the bus or you're at work with many people, you even unconsciously pick up energies from other people, and it is even really good when you come back home to clear your energy field simply with the incense. So before every meditation, every practice, it is really good to use incense to clear, to clean your energy field and to disconnect anything which is not yours, knowingly or unknowingly, because these energies can be picked up anywhere. That makes your meditation a lot easier, a lot lighter, and with less interference. Can go a bit slower as well, yes. The energy is not in a rush. Only the mind rushes. So in your meditation space, it is very good to have, you can pass it around there, yes. In your meditation space, it's very good to really take care of the energetic side as well. Simply with the incense. As simple as that, just to go around your body a few times. Believe me, it helps tremendously to have a better meditation without interference from your mind and from the attachments of other energies. This is how you can make every meditation, every practice, and especially energy transmission a success. Because that keeps your energy open, clean, pure, and in a full availability to receive. In the full consciousness transmission, you could imagine that the energy that will come now, it is like the sun. And the sun is above and it is simply shining onto you. It is simply touching your skin. It is simply shining all the way through you. It is not something that you can visualize or imagine or even try to get, because simply by being open, you will receive most. So even if you will feel the intention, oh, I want to connect, I want to get more, you will actually be blocking yourself. So the best way is to simply be completely open, completely transparent, and to be completely, we can say, wondrous or curious, to feel, to experience something new. That is the best way to receive a higher vibrational energy. In the transmission, the high vibrational energy also decodes your mind. The mind is in many times I give an example that the mind is like a spaghetti. It's like a spaghetti noodle which is very confused, very intertwisted, very knotted, and it's very hard to say what is really what. So the full consciousness is unravel these knots, and it starts to decode your DNA and spine where the mind is attached. It is another big thing that the mind attached to the physical nervous system, to the brain and the whole nervous system. So in the conscious, your whole mind, I can add in all spaces, in all timelines, and in all dimensions, is surrounded with a light, with a healing energy, with a light. And that healing energy and light decodes and removes the distortions and simply allows you to open more. There is so many healing effects during the full consciousness transmission that carry on speaking until tomorrow. But now, instead of speaking, let's prepare and let's actually experience it. Let's receive it. So it will be a guided meditation transmission, and in your seating position, it is good that you keep your spine straight up. You can put a cushion behind you. If you prefer, you can sit closer on the mat. It is good to have your legs in a position and simply having your arms facing openly upwards. By the way, for those who are sitting on the floor, are you used to sitting on the floor? Yes? Because in 10 minutes you might start feeling some. If you're used to sitting on the floor, then it's good. Yeah, so we want to make it as comfortable and as open as possible. Okay, very well. You can close your eyes when you're ready. Have a few gentle breaths. Attention to your breath. Feel how the air comes through your nose and goes down into your lungs and your belly. Bring your attention inwards, downwards into your breath. If there are any thoughts, it's okay. You can simply remind yourself to bring your attention back to your breath, noticing that there is more space around your breath. Feel that you are expanding. There's more openness, very gently and slowly. You You can even slow down your thoughts and feelings and energies, your breath. The light is all around you. It is like the sun radiating, shining onto your whole being, in all places, spaces, dimensions. Simply receiving this beautiful light, allowing the sun to shine, allowing everything to settle and slow down, reminding yourself of your breath, to always receive without any wondering, completely expand, relax, like in the spa. To feel a breeze of light, like a wind, like a gentle breeze, radiance of the light shining through you. You can even feel your spine strengthening, expanding, your brain becoming brighter. Everything is brighter and lighter. If there is any heaviness, it is healing because the light is surrounding. The sun is already shining. remembering your breath into the openness. You may feel a lot of heat, a lot of vibrations, which is normal. Very high light intensity, healing energy. You can also feel your brain and your spine strengthening, becoming brighter, expanding with more space. Those who are ready, you can slowly start returning, giving some time to integrate, to simply flow. It's like a waterfall of light, of the highest vibration, of the source energy. Just giving some time Slowly, when you're ready, you can start returning on your own time. Okay, welcome back. Everyone looks quite hot. It's a very intense energy. So it might even sometimes be hard to sit, because of the intensity and the energy flows through your spine. However, every moment is healing. Every second that you spend is immensely balancing and healing the mind. And you are directly connected with the source. You are directly connected with the full absolute consciousness. That light is beyond the light. It is beyond the universe. It is the source from which the universe came. So from that light, everything was created. It is the seed of God. It is the seed of pure consciousness. And thus, even 1 second of true connectedness can completely transform your whole mind, can connect you directly to your soul. All the doors open, all the clear, and you have the most direct access to God. Like you are on a plane jet or on a rocket right to the God. There is no more wandering. So this is why it is about receiving. And in that receiving, you completely open. Because if you try to imagine, visualize, or do something with your mind, the mind cannot access it. It is beyond the mind. So it's simply put your mind away, relax, and be completely open. And that is the best meditation that you could ever have. That is the most direct connection that you could ever have. And that is for the full consciousness transmission. When you are in the space, when you are in a higher vibrational space. When you are at home, of course, you can do your own practice. You can use all and methods that you know. But when you come to meet with the teacher, when you come to receive the transmission, it is already here. It is already being sent. So you only need to receive. All the effort is literally not needed anymore. So all the effort is no longer needed because with the teacher, with the transmission, there is no effort, it is just receptivity. The only effort that is needed is for you to be completely, openly receptive. Any other effort is a practice which you can do on your own, a purification practice or a meditative practice. But here it's the most direct connection, the most direct channel. So this is the value of every second in the full consciousness transmission. Even if you will say that I felt it for only 1 second, that is enough. For the beginning, that is enough. If you manage to stay for half a minute, that is amazing. If you manage to stay for 10 minutes, well, that is wonderful. But even 1 second is extremely valuable because in that second you truly connected. There was a direct path, and then that light of the source will go through your soul, will go through your mind, and it will start to clear the path. You see, between you and full consciousness or God, enlightenment, it is a path. There is, you may call in the relative words, there is a distance. That is relatively true. In absolute reality, there is no distance because everything is God, everything is self. In the relative reality and in the common experience, yes, there is a distance between you and God. And here in the transmission, even 1 second direct connectedness already allows you to recognize, to connect and recognize that vibration. And then through recognition and connectedness of that vibration, then your path is being cleared. The road and the traffic is being cleared. And the distance is shortening. So your consciousness rises, that your level of consciousness rises up to be closer to God, to the pure consciousness. So in the map of spirituality, we know about these steps and the levels of consciousness. We can even measure them scientifically. And the higher your level of consciousness, the less there's a distance between the full self. That is experienced in the relative reality. In the full consciousness reality, you recognize it's already been here all the time. That is amazing. That is so wonderful to recognize that the natural self was always here, but it was not recognized, it was not felt, it was disconnected. It was there, but it was disconnected. But it was there. I really want to make a point. It is always here. I will be even more direct. It is always here. It is right now, right here. The disconnection, the distance is only inside you. The distance is not even outside you. You are the something in the sky or something in the 12th dimension or beyond. That is not the truth. The distance is right here, right now, right inside you. And what does that mean? So you can forget of any external practice, of any external distance, of any external journey. And you can simply sit down and find God right inside you, right where you are, right now, right here. And that is called self-enquiry and self-realization. So now we will come exactly to this part of self-enquiry and self-realization. So I would invite at first those who want to be first to simply come closer. It is more direct as well because let's remove all the distances and to simply come closer and to look deeper or to simply share your experience and I can guide you into your deeper self. So I'm okay. Let's have a cushion here. Just a little bit. So who would like to come first?
Do we do it like that?
We will simply the path is clear. Just a little bit back, slightly back, yes. Okay, yes, yes. Okay. So let's start with your meditation. How transmission? How was your experience?
I experienced today the same thing that I started experiencing lately. I think I found that light that leads, and I think I understand if when you talk about distances.
Yes.
I think I finally found that lift
Yes.
where I entered and just going slowly up
Yes,
finally.
like an elevator, yes.
So when I do meditations now, every time when I enter that lift, I'm going, and that's why it was incredible to understand that that lift was always there,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
wasted so much time not knowing about it.
Exactly, perfect. And you know, there's a saying the universe is inside you. Even more to be correct, full consciousness is already inside you, it's already here. And that lift, yes, it's a direct connection, it connects you directly. And even more so when you are on your own, you can do the meditation, but here the distance is even shortened. So I want you just a few moments just to be completely open and just to see the light which is already here. Just a few moments. There's nothing to do, just see. Don't even try to look in the mind, yes, or see there.
That live together.
Yes, exactly. Yes. In that distance is realization has always been inside you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mhm.
So, yeah, I was feeling a lot of light energy and stuff, and like an expensive feeling. My mind was like uh, repeating like stories of what I've been passing through, and like I don't want to resist it, but sometimes I feel like I'm wondering if all these emotions are part of my mind as well.
They are, yes.
And then I start feeling like a pain in my head or like a battle.
Yes. These stories, which are emotions, are part of the mind or the mind. And I would like to point you to show you the space of beingness. So you already see that in front of you there's maybe motion or energy. There is understanding which is here. You can feel your aura or your space. And I simply want you to spend more time or to see, to recognize the space of beingness. This space is present beingness. The mind is as we spoke late before, it's linear. It's linear and then it attaches to one emotion and there's one thing after another thing. What is the way out? What is the freedom from one thing, another thing, and third thing, and fourth thing? Leave those things. Leave those things and simply feel that you are as a space of beingness. Like as a big, you may at first visualize a big ball of beingness and then even expand to see that this ball has no boundaries. And that is the only way out of the current state of the consciousness and the mind. Because it can get really tiring to figure it all out.
Yes.
Your strength is in the space of beingness. This is where you can get stronger, deepen your presence, root more, mature more, to become bigger and stronger in the space of beingness. All the stories and thoughts and emotions and mind and even energies become secondary. Because in the space of beingness, you have the strength, the peace, everything is there. That is your new you.
Mhm.
Yes. And everything which is old is secondary. The more you stay in the space of beingness, the quicker everything will heal of the past. So that is really important to recognize.
So should I just meditate on that feeling
Of beingness.
of beingness and just
Space
strengthen that?
beingness, yes, and strengthen. Stay there longer, yes.
Mhm.
And you will see everything will flow easier. All the old energies will heal quicker. Okay.
I just couldn't focus. And
Too many thoughts, yes.
yes, and everything bothered me.
Okay.
Like I couldn't focus my breathing because I was focusing other people breathing, and I know it's not good, but
Yes.
I tried. I don't know how to.
Yes. Right now, simply feel your breath and simply feel peacefulness behind you. The thoughts are like in front of you. They're in your head and in front of you. So the way to transcend your thoughts, distractions, and your mind is to first begin with your breath and then to feel the peacefulness behind you, the space behind you. And this is where, in that background space behind you, this is where you will find peacefulness. This is where naturally your thoughts will calm down and disappear. That is the place of the inner peace. Just to feel your breath and just to step behind. If there are any thoughts, it's fine, but now you're behind in the space of peacefulness. And then you will see it will be a lot easier to meditate. Your mind will calm down, there will be less distractions, and your meditation will deepen. Everything will become deeper. So that is where you can find peacefulness. And your meditation will be easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm cracking.
How is the transmission?
It was much more gentler than usual. So it was a new feeling.
Yes. Actually, it's common that heaviness or a huge blast or a huge strength. When your energy is more open, you feel it softer and softer. Yet it is higher, but yet it is softer. Because full consciousness is freedom, it's complete light. So the only heaviness or intensity or strength is only the density or energetic density. So your energy field is clearing and it's flowing a lot easier. Receptivity is a lot easier. What else did you feel?
Um, like waves of light, like bathing me, dissolving some stuff.
Yes. I can see you are already open to receive. Even now, try not without any understanding, just to feel and see the light. Just a few moments without any searching, looking, or understanding, just to feel and see the light. Freedom, bliss. And or look or search. I know naturally you inside you say, oh, I want to keep it longer, but when that arises, you already start stepping into the mind. So I can see energetically that receptivity is increasing and your body, your energy system is opening and widening and is able to receive more and more. This is why it's also called attunement. So I simply send that highest energy, and then your nervous system, including your whole energetic systems, they gradually attune to be able to recognize, to integrate, and to sustain in a more and more permanent way. Right, you want from this side? Okay.
I had a mixture of feelings actually. I had a moment when I was feeling like I was outside closing my eyes and the sun coming to my face. I was feeling very warm as well.
Yes.
But at the same time, I was feeling that I was getting distracted many times. I felt the calmness and I felt peaceful. But as soon as there was something distracting, it was like when you're falling asleep and someone
Yes.
sound
Yes.
like disconnecting. So it was a mixture, like a wave of
Yes.
connecting and disconnecting.
Okay. And if there are no distractions, if the mind would not react to the distractions, it is still the quality of the mind to react to the distractions. But let's assume that there is no distraction and the mind is not reacting to it. How would you feel then?
When I had a bit of longer time without getting this, and I was feeling, as I said before, like very peaceful.
Yes.
And actually, I don't know how to describe the feeling.
Like peaceful and warm at home. Yes. So stay there longer. Imagine that now you're right there. There's nothing much distracting you now. Imagine that all distractions and even a little bit anxiety is gone. And how do you feel? Wouldn't it be that freedom? Yes. Freedom, peace, and that is realization and recognition of your true natural self. The obstacles are only the little bit anxiety and distraction and a bit of this and a bit of that. These are distractions, like little obstacles on the road. But I want you, instead of focusing on them, I want you to recognize your true self. Because when they are gone, when the distractions and obstacles are gone, what is there? Freedom, peace, happiness. That is the clear path.
I had that kind of sensation.
Yes. So by recognizing you, you connect more with your true self, and that will help you to overcome the challenges a lot easier and quicker. That is the beauty of self-realization. The more you recognize your true self, the easier you will overcome the obstacles. Sometimes we spend too much time in the problems, in the difficulties, that we even forget beauty and the freedom and happiness. Yes, and I can see that you recognize a little bit shy and so forth, but don't worry, just recognize how you can even imagine, and for everybody it's amazing to imagine how you would feel if there are no problems and obstacles inside you. And that is your new you. That is your future. It's hard to believe, but your heart already knows. It's amazing. I want this. Your heart recognizes instantly, and your mind says, "Is it possible?" You know, there's the mind is always slow to believe. You know, and your true you, your natural self, is always coming true. Your real dreams coming true. Some dreams maybe not be very true if they're like if from advertisements or from the media where the businessmen try to sell you everything that they can. But your true dreams from your heart come true. How is the transmission?
Thoughts or anything like that. It's peaceful, and the only thing that basically happened was that I was like kind of aligned in a position, and I felt energies around me, especially going up through my nervous system. Felt like heavy magnetism, just keeping it right there in like a certain position. I felt like it didn't even use my muscles anymore. It was just kept like that. That was basically it, and it just stayed like that until the session was done.
Good. Very good attunement and integration with your nervous system. To stop for a moment, slow down and to stop for a moment. Just to slow down and stop for a moment and to see and notice awareness, light of consciousness, that it is already surrounding all around you. Just to stop for a moment, nowhere to go, nothing to search, end of the road. What happens at the end of the road? The story dies and the light shines. It's so close that you're basically knocking on the door at the end of the road, but there's a little bit of fear. What's gonna be that light? You want it, but the story, the mind is a bit afraid. It's like such a small distance that if you simply stop, there is silence and you create space for the light to shine through, to penetrate that last space, that last small gap. so that the light penetrates, shines through. Today I see that you see the story. The mind has a story of me, myself, or I. It's very normal, but it's not natural. Because that drives you crazy. The only way to get rid of it is to stop and just to look at the light around you. And that's it. That is surrendering to the light. There was an opening. We're creating more holes, more pockets. So that is the I thought, which has a story, can drive you crazy if it's too much. When it's normal, it's like a feeling of something is uncomfortable, like it's bugging, the mind is bugging you. But all you need to do is to slow down and stop and to look around, that the light is already around you. Consciousness is already strong, right there. That you can do even yourself, because the light and consciousness is already very strong all around you. That's how you finish the game. That is the red button.
I see it once in a while, then I forget.
Yes.
Then it disappears.
All you need to do is to stop.
One of the most profound feelings in a very long time. It was like watching the sunrise from the shore of the ocean. It was really strong and really beautiful. And then it was like I was dissolving, I was like transparent, I didn't see myself yet. It was like I'm not even there yet. I never felt so alive and free in a long time.
That's like complete light and freedom. So remembering that, how you can remain as that freedom space. What comes to you now? What would be the obstacle? Nothing, yes. Only the certainty, a certainty of what you truly will make it permanent. A certainty of what you truly want as the truth, as your deepest self, as your deepest desire will make it permanent. Because there are many other things that you like or want or give a try or this or that or here or there or up and down or left or right. There are many other things externally and internally that in a way you are already on a very good path, but in a way they distract you. There's nothing wrong with life in general, with work and relationships and anything else. So it's completely good to be completely with life, with everything that life gives you. But to arrive at the full consciousness, you need a certainty of your true desire, of what you truly want. Because many people, they come to the sky above the clouds, they see the sun is there, but they say, oh, there's so much freedom above the clouds. But I'm saying, be the sun. Don't linger in the sky. There is a lot of freedom there in the sky. You can do a lot more stuff than usually, but be the source, be the sun. So the certainty of what you truly desire will be your most direct path. Because I see your whole energetics and path, and that will lead you towards the full consciousness, towards realizing all your dreams, making your life the best possible version you could possibly create. And the quicker you arrive inside you at your fullest self, at your highest potential, the quicker you will create your highest potential. This is how creation happens. So you may even cut many years or timelines of all other activities. You can still continue, but there will be less and less distractions and less obstacles. I would say obstacles. It is completely your inner journey. The distance is completely inside you. And the more certain you will be of what you truly desire within your heart, within your inner self, whether it's truth, peace, freedom, or love, or anything else, then that will manifest in your external life. That is the secret of transformation and manifestation. It is the law of attraction on steroids or on a supercharged energy. That is like a jet plane. You don't walk, you don't drive a bicycle or a car, you take a jet plane. So a certainty of your truest, deepest desire. Freedom, truth, choose. Right? Go from this side. How was your meditation?
moment that I closed my eyes, I felt this strong energy. It was super strong, like circulating around, and I was feeling this first of all in my spine, and I saw the light everywhere, like a gold rain. I was walking really slowly, really peaceful, really happy. From the beginning, I was going out from some closed space, like going out from the room or.
Okay, yes. I can see that you were really receiving that light and it really went all through you. So that I can see, and yes, it is your first time and it's a lot of light. And well, now you will need some rest because it's very strong. So you will need some rest and to further work on your chakras, energy centers, so that it can shine, it can come through better, it can shine better. I can only see that you're like all around you, it's already good, but your chakras and your spine is not very strong yet. So you can receive it, but your own chakras and spine, Kundalini, is not strong yet. So that would be the most important practice, and so that you strengthen your energetic body with chakras, spine, Kundalini flow, and your nervous system as well. So that is what is now is truly needed, so that you can sustain and you can keep these vibrations, so that you could keep the light and the inner light would shine through. Okay, one more and we will be finishing. Was the transmission? Yes.
It was good. I think I'm a little bit like a lot of, on the bubble, 200 clouds of dense clouds. And it was very strong, very strong. You made something in your room today. It's the strongest coming.
And the room is ready and this energy is fully prepared in this room, this space, so that all the channels are open right from the source flowing right here.
And I got this the flash as usual, but it was very nice now, and it lasted for a while. And yeah, that was that. But there's a lot of clouds of dense energy.
Yes, what it did, since the light was so strong, it pushed the lower energy, the lower vibrational energy up to the front. When you illuminate with the light the room, you can see everything. So the same way the light came completely around you and it pushed the lower energy right to the front. And this is why you could see and feel like these dense clouds. These are the lower, older energies. Since they've been already pushed to the front, they will be processed. Because they are already illuminated and on some degree disconnected, so that they can, instead of being in the spine, they came to the front. So now they will be processed and purified and cleansed, and light, the new you, will become easier to be accessed and more permanent. It is very common that with a high light of energy, the old energies are pushed, or we could out of the clouds to the sun, and then you could see the clouds. Because if you're underneath, you couldn't see the sun in a very cloudy day. If you're in the clouds where you're in there, you're just there. But now you popped up, and now you could see the clouds. These are your old and lower vibrational energies. And of course, with all the practices that you do and so on, they will be easily cleared and transmuted, and they will dissolve.
Feels better already.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have a question just before we finish? Just last chance. Okay. Everybody's clear, bright and light. All right. So we're finishing today and touch. May all beings be happy and free. That is the wish and intention of all our energy and dedication, not only for ourselves, but else too. That is the new earth and the new humanity.